which were these forces were after Modi Sarkar to de-escalate. Okay, then we don't want war. War is no peace, etc., etc.
Indra is great.
Who were these forces? Have you observed these were the same forces which were trying to push Bharat into a war before? Am I right?
Exactly.
So when they didn't know what was Bharat's actual capability, because I have already written that on Twitter also many times, and though people found it humorous or sarcastic, but to some extent it is a fact also that Modi Sarkar used this military offensive against Pakistan to experiment the defense preparedness of our forces.
Exactly.
This military offensive against Pakistan was actually an experimental lab. Pakistan was nothing else but an experimental lab where we actually checked our defense preparedness, which no one in the world knew about. So, before we could prove our capability, these were the same people who were actually running after Modi Sarkar, or they were building up the narrative against Modi Sarkar that why is not Modi acting? Why is not Modi taking any action? And when the action happened, within 3 days, the same people they changed the side and they started saying, "No, war is not peace. Let's stop, de-escalate."
And after 3 days,
So, what was exactly going on? Let me tell you one thing, or let me again ask you one thing. Have you ever seen Congress? Okay, have you ever seen Congress ever before? Let it be surgical strike, let it be air strikes against Pakistan, let it be strikes inside Myanmar, which very few people know.
Yeah.
So, did Congress support Modi Sarkar at any point of time? No. Then how come suddenly Congress started pushing Modi Sarkar for the war? Just think over it. The answer is there.
Okay.
Modi Sarkar had made it very clear that we are taking action against terrorism. We are going to take action against the terrorists and their sponsors and their preparators. So our action, Bharat's action was over on very first day itself on the early morning of 7th when we struck 9 terrorist hideouts, 9 terrorist, you can say, dens, bases, right? We destroyed them. Our action was over.
But in this election,
No, that was the action.
okay.
That was the action. Bharat had already made it clear that we are going to hit hard the terrorism. We never said that we are going in a war for Pakistan. We never said that we are going to get POK. We never said, Bharat never said, Modi Sarkar never said that we are going to go and what we say, the will make it happen that Pakistan's name is wiped out on the world map. No one said that. Modi Sarkar's official stand was we are going to take action against terrorism. That they did. So on 7th morning, when we hit those particular 9 terror bases, our action was over. But then Pakistan, they retaliated by sending drones at our military installations and plus at the civilian sites. So therefore, next early morning, that is 8th early morning, Bharat again retaliated. But again, that was a very major response because we were not anyways going for the war.
We are very clear about that.
We were very clear about it. But again, then next morning, Pakistan, they tried to hit 26 places. Right? They tried to attack 26 cities in Bharat and including the civilians. And therefore, on that particular night, when Bharat retaliated, it was such a massive strike that within 23 minutes, literally within 23 minutes, 11 air bases of Pakistan, including their nuclear sites, they were destroyed. The nuclear stockpile where they keep, that is at Kirana Hills, even that was hit by Bharat. It was not expected by the world, right? And after that, this particular call, after the second night itself, the call for the de-escalation started by the same people who were trying to push Bharat into a war before the first strike. So what was going on exactly? The thing is that the entire world wanted Bharat to go for a war. And Modi Sarkar very precisely maintained their constraint, their patience not to go for the war. Now you'll ask me that why did these people want us to go for the war? See, the thing is that Dharmaji have always said, on every platform I've always said, that geopolitics is all about business. It's all about business. There is nothing called nationalism involved in that. Every person wants to make his country great. Every leader wants to make his country great or strong or in a better position, whatever. wherever they are. But for that, you need economy. And for economy, you need trade and industry and business. So ultimately, it's all about business. It's all about money. Right now, which is the strongest economy all over the world?
America.
No, it's Bharat. Because America has reached to a particular stagnation.
Yes. Right? Even banks are failing there.
China has already reached a period of stagnation.
Hmm.
Now there is not sufficient population to take care of the present facilities. GDP is falling. You will say, no, GDP is growing. But that growth rate has fallen. America has already reached a stagnation position in case of even the growth in GDP. Which is the fastest growing economy? That is Bharat. Bharat was earlier only biggest market of the world. And actually Congress wanted to keep it that way only. That let Bharat be the largest consumer and make it a dumping ground. And that is why all the Chinese products, US products, EU products, everything was being dumped over here at the cost of our own industry. Since 2014, what had changed? From 2014 to 2025, just observe minutely, Bharat is no more only a biggest market. It is one of the biggest manufacturers as well as one of the main logistical suppliers. Now, people had mocked when Modi ji started Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in Bharat, LOP of Lok Sabha, present LOP of Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, his famous speeches are there in the parliament. Make in India, make in India, make in India. Kaise hoga make in India? It won't happen in India. That was a confidence. The ex-finance minister Chidambaram, he was mocking about UPI.
Digital.
How will digital infrastructure work? There is no, how will the last man in the village, he will get the network? How will he use the mobile? Now, Bharat is the largest user of UPI transactions. Am I right? Now we are exporting our technology to other countries to develop their digital infrastructure. So basically, from biggest market, we have come to biggest market plus manufacturer plus logistic hub, and that is the thing which is worrying all the major economies in the world. That is US, China, EU, everyone. Bharat is now the biggest threat for them. Right now, China is losing businesses. So many industries are closing down their businesses in China. And where are they shifting? They're shifting either to Vietnam or to Bharat, right? So out of that, majority chunk is coming to Bharat. Now suppose at this particular point of time, if Bharat is pushed into a war, now what? And secondly, Dharma ji, ये एक मैंने एक छोटा सा वीडियो क्लिप भी बनाया था. The day when that compromise was declared, understanding was declared, not ceasefire.
Understand.
But ceasefire happens when there is a war. Since there was no war, it wasn't a ceasefire, it was an understanding. So when that understanding happened, at that time, many people, many nationalist people, right-wingers, they were very sad, dejected, unhappy, frustrated. Why didn't we go? Why did we stop? We should have stopped only after taking POK, this, that. So that time मैंने एक छोटा सा वीडियो बनाया था. उसमें मैंने एक पॉइंट रखा था. That point was, what do you know about war? War demands sacrifice. A great sacrifice from everyone. During the war, inflation goes high. Industry factor should be noted. Industries close down. Unemployment increases.
Investors won't come to
Investors won't come. Right? War demands sacrifices from all the sides. War incurs loss on both the sides. And this is not the right time to go for a war for Bharat. Now talking about our population, how many people have seen a war? I will say 90% of people in Bharat haven't seen a war in their life, including me. The last war, no. The last war which Bharat fought was 1971. Kargil wasn't a war, full-fledged.
No, it's not a war. Okay.
It was a military defensive. We are living in a particular nation where people don't know what is the difference between military defensive, military offensive, battle, skirmishes, and war. There are different types. Kargil was military defensive. Pakistan Army, ISI, and their militants, they had entered Bharat and they had occupied certain strategic positions in Kargil. And we freed our own particular positions from their control. For that, we had to take military action. So it was military action taken to defend Bharat's territory. It was military defensive. It was limited only to a certain area in Kashmir. Even Jammu wasn't feeling the tremors of that particular conflict. So forget about the entire Bharat. Everyone else was enjoying their life. There was nothing, no changes. That was one thing which our people saw. Actual war was in 1971. And my mother tells me that they used to run sirens and all. And she was traveling from Dadar in Mumbai to Mulund in Mumbai.
Okay.
And that time there was no so much of infrastructure and all. And suddenly sirens started going on. So what happened? She had to like मुझे अपनी गोद में से छुपा के उनको कहीं जाके shelter लेनी पड़ी. Okay, that was the last war. So even I haven't seen the war. I'm also one of those 90%. Now, these 90% people vote on the basis of prices of onions and tomatoes. Okay?
And
देखा है, आपने भी देखा है. And यहाँ पे कांदे और टमाटर के भाव पे, प्याज और टमाटर के भाव पे सरकार ही गिरती है. Our people are so immature. Don't feel bad.
I think this happened in 2004 elections also.
It has happened so many times. Sheila Dikshit, there was no reason for Sheila Dikshit to lose. She had done excellent job. She was from Congress, but credit where it dues. Every time it has happened. Now imagine in this country, when people haven't even seen what a war is, and inflation starts, unemployment starts, because it's not going to get over in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. When you go for a war, there is no timeline, right? So what about internal dissatisfaction or the internal revolt which might happen at such point of time? So let first people get to know what is a war-like situation. If not war, at least a war-like situation. Now when you are seeing how the drones are attacking you from all the sides and how the government is stopping them. Government means defense forces. They're stopping them. So at that time, now you start getting the goosebumps. Oh, what if next time that drone comes to Mumbai? What if that drone next time comes to Chennai? Or to Goa? Or to any other place? So now people have realized. So next time if we go, we may go for war. But this wasn't a war. Then why were these people, Congresses were especially after Modi Sarkar, when are you going to take action? Then are you going to take action? If Indira Gandhi would have been there, by this time, Pakistan ke ek tukde ho jate, 4 tukde ho jate, 16 tukde ho jate. Why were they doing that? Because they wanted us to go for war.
and face of global humiliation.
Exactly. Because no one was knowing about the defense preparedness. Point number 1. Point number 2. If Bharat goes for a war, the economy is going to suffer. And the people who have seen so much of growth in economy in last 10 years, suddenly if they see even a speed breaker in that particular growth, they will start barking against government. So even if government wins a war, they might lose the election next. That was point number 2. Point number 3. All the global economies wanted Bharat to go for war
Okay.
because that would have hit the investment in Bharat.
Growth of economy. Every factor will be affected.
No investor would come to a war-prone area or nation.
Exactly.
So whichever companies are going to ship from China, they will stay there only. Whichever companies are going to come from EU or Australia or US to Bharat, they will come. They will stop there only. So the dream of becoming the manufacturing hub, now we are one of the biggest manufacturers, we want to become manufacturing hub. So that dream would have been postponed by another 10 to 15 years. We have the dream of becoming the logistical hub. Even that would have got affected at least by another 15 to 20 years because our infrastructure would have taken a hit because of the war to that extent. So this was the global plan.